Back with another video. Yes, that's right, as the title suggests, I will be trying out meditation for the next 30 days, seeing if it improves my mental well-being, and if it's all it's cracked up to be. So who do we think of when we think of meditation? Buddha, the Dalai Lama, Gandhi, yoga mums, all very spiritual, influential figures. But what is the deal with meditation? What actually is it? Meditation is the act of remaining in a silent and calm state for a period of time as part of a religious training, or so that you're more able to deal with the problems of everyday life. So, sleep. Basically just sleep. Turns out I've already been meditating for 25 years, so job done. Easy video this one. Cheers guys, thanks for watching. See you later. Have a good one. No, obviously not. Sleep does not count as meditation because, you're not in control of what goes on when you sleep. You can have bad dreams which affect you. You can be rolling about and restless, whereas with meditation, you're aware of what's going on around you and you place yourself in a complete state of zen. Which is something I feel very few of us do nowadays. With the way the world is and everything, we live a very active, high-octane, full-on lifestyle. We commute, which can be stressful, then we work, which is obviously stressful, then we commute home, then we make dinner. Even our downtime and relaxation isn't really fully switching off and doing nothing. If you're reading, you have to read the words, process the words, comprehend them, have a reaction to them. All of that takes a lot of brain power. Same as TV. You have to watch the TV, comprehend what's going on, understand the dynamics between different characters, have an emotion towards what's happening. So when you break it down, when do you ever just do nothing? Like actually nothing. And that's why I want to challenge myself to try meditation for the next 30 days, see if it improves my well-being and my ability to just do nothing. Because that's something I'm not really able to do. I have such a small attention span now, and I put that down to the fact that there are always so many options and so many things that I can do. I constantly feel like I have to be doing something, even if that's just watching something on YouTube or listening to music. And then even when I am doing something, I find it really hard to focus on that thing for a prolonged period of time. If I'm not at the cinema, watching a film is a nightmare because there are so many distractions around the house and my brain is constantly thinking about what else it could be doing, even if I'm really enjoying the film. Like, how many times will you be watching something and instead of fully focusing on it and absorbing it, you're sat there mindlessly scrolling through your phone, looking at absolutely nothing? Don't lie. You do that all the time. So, here's how it's going to work. I'm going to meditate for 10 to 15 minutes each day for the next 30 days. I'm going to try to do it around the same time each day because I feel like doing it at the same time is the only way to really keep it consistent. I'm also going to try to keep my surroundings as consistent as possible. So if I'm doing it in my house, which most days I will be, I'll make sure to do it in the same room each time. Obviously, when I'm meditating, I'm not able to do anything else. I'm just sat there with a clear mind, focusing on my breathing and just letting go of anything I might be holding on to. So I will see you throughout the journey and let's do some meditation. So just finished day 1 of meditation. It wasn't actually as hard as I thought it would be. I thought I'd find it really difficult to switch off and just do nothing because, as I mentioned before, I have a really short attention span, so I thought just sitting there and doing nothing for 10 minutes would be challenging. I thought I'd feel all angsty and like, oh, I've got to do something, but it felt relatively easy to just sit there and just focus on my breathing and just sort of accept the thing of doing nothing. I used an app because most things that I've read seem to suggest that you know, using an app and having something to follow and having a voice to follow helps. I think that's definitely true. I'm using Calm because they have a 7-day free trial, and they have like a daily guide that sort of, it's the same person each day and it's following a sort of narrative. But there's loads of apps out there, you know, that's just the one that I chose. And yeah, it definitely helps having that thing to follow and having that sort of focus. There were a couple of times where I found myself sort of thinking about what I was going to say after I've done it. You know, sort of a couple of things around me, my thoughts about what's going on, which obviously as time goes on, you've got to sort of try to eliminate those thoughts and have as minimal thought as possible and just sit there with sort of letting things sort of pass through. But you know, for day one, I think that was pretty good. So I'm a week in now. I've been meditating every day for the last 7 days, and yeah, I really like it. I didn't think I would take to it as quickly as I have. I thought, you know, I'd have apprehensions and sort of mental blocks that I would need to break down. But as soon as I started, I was just like, yeah, this is nice. I really like the actual meditation process when I'm doing it. It feels really relaxing and freeing. And then once I'm done meditating, I'm left with the most peaceful, surreal feeling. It feels really weird, but the only way I can think to describe it is that it just feels like I'm floating on a cloud, and that, you know, everything around me is really soft and fluid, and I can just like sink in to the chair that I'm sitting in or anything like that. And I feel like that for a good like 15 to 20 minutes after I finished. I'm aware I sound absolutely ridiculous, but that is genuinely how it feels once I'm done. And yeah, it's such a nice feeling. So I'm about halfway through the 30 days now, and one of the things that I've sort of taken away from this and learnt the most so far is just how little and insignificant the things that we let stress us out really are when you look at them through a wider scope and, you know, try and look at the bigger picture. The nature of the job that I do means the amount I can make each day fluctuates massively. You know, I can have a day where I make £500 in one day on a really good day, and then I can have days where I lose, say, £50. So I can even lose money on certain days. And on those days where I lose money, it will affect my mood massively. You know, I'll get really frustrated and angry and, you know, feel like everything's pointless and lash out. When in reality, if I look at things through, you know, a wider scope and look at the bigger picture, I know each month that I make money. So, you know, if I've lost, say, £20 on this one day, tomorrow I might make £50. So I've already made back that £20 I lost, plus made another £30 on top of that. And I'm still not perfect by any means, obviously. You know, I've only been doing this a couple of weeks. I'm still learning massively. The other night I lost like £50, and I was still really angry and frustrated, and I wanted to lash out, you know. But yeah, I think sometimes we all just need to put the things that frustrate us and anger us into a bigger context and, you know, look at them through a wider lens and realize that this small, minute moment in our lives is only temporary and it's gonna pass, and doing this is really helping me see that. So today I decided to try something a little different, and I meditated outside in my garden. Usually when I meditate in my room, once I'm done, I like to sort of lean out of the window for a couple of minutes, just because it feels nice to feel the air and the breeze on my face once I'm in that sort of meditative, hazy state. Yeah, it's just a nice feeling. So obviously meditating outside, I would have that whilst I'm meditating, you know. I'd feel the air and the breeze, hear the birds, and, you know, just the feeling of being outside. I would have that whilst I'm meditating rather than just having it after. And yeah, it was nice. Obviously there was initially the process of trying to sort of phase out outside noises, because annoyingly I managed to decide to meditate right when school had finished, and I live literally around the corner from a school, so there were a few loud kids that would run past the house. But yeah, it felt nice. It was nice, as I say, to feel the breeze on me, and hear, you know, the outside noise. It was just a very different sensation than just doing it in my room. I'm not sure if I would do it every day, whether it would replace, my usual routine, but as a nice sort of change of pace, I could see myself doing it maybe once a week or so. So we are nearly at the end of the 30 days, and as cliche and as cheesy as it sounds, I feel like doing this and starting meditation has taught me so much, about myself that I didn't really know. I've dealt with, depression and stress and anger issues and all of those sort of things for as long as I can remember, really, but I never thought I was someone who had anxiety. Obviously I knew about it, I knew people who had it, but I never really thought it was something that I struggled with. But doing this has shown me that I think I do actually have pretty bad anxiety. I feel like I often have this sort of just uneasy, bubbling at the surface feeling, and then sometimes if the littlest thing happens, it can just sort of push me over the edge. And obviously that's not good. And along with all the other things that, starting meditation and doing this every day is helping me with, the stress issues and the anger issues, it's helped me in that it's shown me this new thing that I think I may have and I think I may struggle with. And now that I know I have it, I can look at ways to minimize it and, deal with it. So it's not even just about helping you out with things that you already know you have and you already struggle with and deal with. It can even show you things that you didn't even know you had. So I've reached the end of the 30 days. I successfully meditated every day and I really enjoyed it. I didn't expect to take to it so immediately because, like most people, I think I had a lot of preconceptions about it. I thought, oh, it's just for hippies, it's pretentious, it's just doing nothing, how helpful can that be? But then if you flip it and look at it the other way, you realise, oh, it's just doing nothing. How can that be pretentious? So obviously I've only done it 30 days. I am by no means an expert and I'm not claiming to be, but I just wanted to finish this video and round it off by giving some tips or some advice, just some things I picked up along the way. Tip 1 is use an app or a guide. It is really helpful to have something to follow along to and listen to, especially in the beginning, because if you start out and you're just trying to do it on your own, you might end up sitting there thinking, oh God, what am I supposed to do? How should I breathe? How should I sit? And you're just going to end up stressing yourself out even more than you were in the first place. They might be a bit cringy at times, a lot of them are the typical overly enthusiastic Americans who say things like, hey, freaking awesome job today. But, you just need to look past that and realise that they're there to help you and to encourage you. Tip 2, if you do use a guide, don't worry if you can't follow along with everything perfectly. I did a 30-day program on calm, and the amount of times in one of the daily lessons he would say to do something or to visualise something, and I'd just be sat there like, I can't do that. And at first it makes you feel a bit shit, you sit there and you think, oh, maybe I'm just not cut out for meditation, maybe I'm just not getting it. But the thing is, meditation works differently for so many people, and there are so many different types of meditation out there. I found the ones that I personally enjoy the most and I get the most out of are the self-love ones. The ones where you give yourself positive affirmation and you remind yourself that you're a good person and you deserve good things, because I feel like that's something I don't do enough. I feel like I'm typically quite hard on myself, and sometimes you need reminding that deep down you are a good person. But you might do those lessons and you might hate them. You might enjoy the ones where you just sit there and do nothing. You might enjoy the ones where you visualize something or being somewhere. It's really up to the individual on where they go with it. And tip 3 is meditate when it feels right. I said at the beginning of the video that I was going to meditate at the same time each day to keep it consistent, but I realised pretty early into the process that that was a bad idea, because all I was doing was putting restrictions on myself that didn't need to be there, and I was making meditating a chore rather than something I wanted to do. So be free with it, you know? If one day you want to meditate on your lunch break because you've had a particularly stressful morning, go for it. If the next day you don't want to meditate until right before bed, that's cool too. There's no perfectly set time to do it. It's just when it feels right on that day. And also, don't feel like you have to meditate for a set time each day. You know, again, at the beginning of the video, I said I was going to meditate for 15 minutes each day. But it doesn't work like that. You know, sometimes you need a longer session. Sometimes you need a shorter one. Just the other day, I stopped one of the calm guides early, and it was the first time I'd done that because I felt I'd gotten what I needed from it that day. And sitting there and forcing myself to finish the lesson when I wasn't really feeling it sort of felt like completely missing the point of what all this is about. So now for the 2 questions I finish every one of these videos with. First, would I recommend meditation to someone? Yes, 100% I would. I think pretty much everyone can gain something from doing meditation, whether that's stress relief, or just to decompress and do nothing, or help you with a decision you're struggling with and get some clarity. There are so many different ways it can help. Just don't go into it with any preconceptions. I know it's difficult because I definitely went into it with preconceptions. I think we've all been taught that meditation is this thing that's just for hippies and Buddhist monks and, you know, we won't get it because it's too deep and complex. But it doesn't have to be that. At the heart of it, it's just sitting there and doing nothing. That's it. And of course, will I carry on doing meditation now that the 30 days are over? Yes, obviously. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe give it a like down below and subscribe. I do videos like this where I try different things for a set period of time, and I also do travel videos, but of course they are on hold for the time being due to the coronavirus pandemic. I spoke about it a bit more in depth and how it might affect this channel and my videos in my last video at the end. So if you want to see me talk about it a bit more, you can check that out. But yeah, it's obviously going to affect me and this channel and the videos I'm able to make. But I'll still try and make videos to the best of my ability. But yeah, travel videos are on hold for the time being. Yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I will see you around.